afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. Hopefully we'll stay with you for the hour today.
The calm after the storm. Yes,
Absolutely.
Much better today, sunny and warm.
And start thinking up your medical questions because Dr. Zorba Pastor will be joining us later on in this hour to take your calls live. We'll let you know when to call in. But first, topping the news today, cleanup continues after yesterday's storms. We'll show you how Wisconsin's emergency management prepares for these situations.
The House January 6th committee resumed testimony today and says former President Trump publicly pressured his Vice President Mike Pence to overturn the 2020 election.
And we're expecting new information on 5 suspects arrested after they crashed a stolen car and tried to hide in a local movie theater. But first, let's take a look outside. Nice day out today. So this is...
Feels like summer.
Yep.
Good summer stuff.
Summer starts next week, but it's much improved. The weather words. Dana's in the backyard. This is better.
This is a lot better. It is windy outside right now, yes. We've seen wind gusts picking up for us this afternoon, but compared to what we were looking at 24 hours ago, this is much better. Looking at our Doppler track right now, things quiet over the last several hours. Really, if we put this thing on loop, we're looking back over the last 24 hours. You can see that line as it passed through yesterday. It was, again, quite a rough afternoon for us. On Wednesday. The good news, things expected to stay quiet. It gives us an opportunity to clean up and dry up. Parts of Jefferson County, Dodge County, the eastern edge of Dane County picking up over 3.5 inches of rainfall. That bright blue that you see there stretching through downtown Madison, a little closer to about 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall coming through yesterday. Plenty of storm reports stretching across our area. Confirmations of tornadoes on the ground, strong wind gusts, wind damage, straight line wind damage, and large hail. So again, a very active afternoon. Now it's just warm and breezy. Temperatures currently in the upper 80s. That's a little bit cooler than where we were at this time yesterday. The bigger cool down will shift in for tomorrow. Dew points at about 50. I would argue that's the bigger difference from what we saw this time yesterday. A 20-degree pullback for us throughout southern Wisconsin. As far as traffic is concerned, again, very windy outside and sunny, but thankfully not stormy. Overall, things look fairly smooth, a little slow eastbound along the Beltline, but no other major delays for us in Dane County. And Rock County looks good north and southbound along the interstate. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City and downtown to Sun Prairie. A 20-minute commute. We'll take a closer look at what's ahead for Friday and your weekend in just a few minutes.
You can hear that wind out there.
I know. I told you it's gusty.
All right, Dana, thank you. It is all hands on deck to clean up in western Wisconsin today.
After what was likely several tornadoes damaged big parts of Mauston in Juneau County.
And that's where we find Catherine Merck. She's been there much of today to see what the storm left behind. Catherine. We are having some problems with that shot. Sorry.
That is Catherine Merck, by the way. She is one of our new reporters, and hopefully we'll get an opportunity to introduce you to her very soon.
Are we going to go back to her, or? All right. In the wake of the severe weather and likely tornadoes we saw yesterday, the state's Emergency Operations Center went into a Level 3 partial activation.
This means they tracked but weren't called to respond to last night's severe weather. But Wisconsin Emergency Management is prepared in case they do need to go.
Will Keneally recently saw how they prepare for these kinds of situations. Will?
So just about 15 miles from Mauston is Volk Field, which hosts the Wisconsin Emergency Management React Center, affectionately known as the Rubble Pile. This is where first responders from Wisconsin and around the country train in different rescue scenarios, especially urban search and rescue. We were able to tour the facility last week, a day after their training in, well, less than perfect weather.
They'll work through that, you know, and of course, you know, the day is much shorter where we get out, work, go back in.
So trainers swap out different elements first responders will have to cut through, making for different scenarios. That could include rescues from cars, collapsed buildings, even hazmat operations with train derailments. We'll tell you more about that training and how it's used in real life coming up at 5.
We'll see you at 5, Will. Thank you. 3 people are in custody tonight following what police say was a kidnapping in Madison that ended with the victim being fatally shot in rural Columbia County. The kidnapping happened yesterday in Madison. The victim was reportedly assaulted and bound before being put in his own vehicle and driven to a rural area between Portage and Wisconsin Dells where he was shot. A 28-year-old Madison resident was arrested on a tentative charge of first-degree intentional homicide, and 2 other people, a 21-year-old and a 38-year-old, both from Madison, face charges as well.
Numerous police officers responded to a movie theater on Madison's west side last night. The Madison Police Department did not immediately have details to provide about the incident, but did report overnight that they responded to a rollover crash nearby on the Beltline and Mineral Point Road involving a stolen car, and that 5 people who were inside the car ran into the theater. We have video of a viewer sent us where you can see the aftermath of the crash. We don't have that video. We don't have a lot today. Well, people are hopping the fence. All 5 people were taken into custody last night.
Senator Tammy Baldwin says the Senate could vote on gun legislation as early as this week. Last week, a bipartisan group of senators agreed to a framework of gun control measures, and those are now being written up into legislation to vote on.
Really, the people of the United States are demanding action. It's so, it seems like tragedy after tragedy, people offer their thoughts and prayers, and that's just not enough. So I stand on the side of taking action. This is a positive step forward.
The proposal does not ban assault weapons or raise the age required to buy them to 21, but if enacted, it would come after years of stalemate.
Today, the House Select Committee resumed its public hearing on the January 6th Capitol assaults.
The committee focused on the campaign to pressure former Vice President Mike Pence into changing the election results.
Skylar Henry's on Capitol Hill, where lawmakers say they now want to hear from a spouse of a Supreme Court justice.
The House January 6th committee presented more dramatic video as they detailed former President Trump's efforts to pressure his vice president, Mike Pence, into blocking congressional certification of the election.
He knew it was illegal. He knew it was wrong. We're fortunate for Mr. Pence's courage.
As these disagreements became more public, that the president would lash out in some way.
Tape testimony from top Pence advisors showed they and several top Trump White House officials disagreed with the former president's lawyer, John Eastman's theory that the vice president could block electoral votes.
I said, are you out of your effing mind? I said, you're going to cause riots in the streets.
In-person witnesses included former Pence advisors Greg Jacob and retired federal judge J. Michael Ludig.
The vice president never budged from the position that I have described as his first instinct, which was that it just made no sense from everything that he knew and had studied about our Constitution that one person would have that kind of authority.
There was no basis in the Constitution or laws of the United States at all.
Thursday, committee chairman Benny Thompson told reporters that it may be time to invite conservative activist Ginny Thomas, wife of Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, to speak to the committee. CBS News has confirmed the Washington Post reporting that Eastman emailed with Ms. Thomas. Mrs. Thomas also exchanged multiple text messages with Trump Chief of Staff Mark Meadows about overturning the election results. The Daily Caller says Mrs. Thomas has signaled she may be willing to talk, telling them she, quote, can't wait to clear up misconceptions. Skylar Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The Senate has approved a bill aimed at helping millions of military veterans exposed to overseas burn pits. The legislation passed today would establish a presumptive link between certain illnesses and exposure to toxic waste dumps in war zones. It's a moment advocates spent years pushing for, and amid rising numbers of respiratory illnesses and cancers among veterans of the armed forces. The Senate bill is named for Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson.
He fought valiantly for 3 years to survive as long as he could for his daughter.
The new legislation will make it easier for veterans to claim benefits and treatment for 23 diseases and rare cancers related to toxic exposure. President Biden has talked about the issue and about his own son's lost battle with brain cancer after serving in Iraq near burn pits. He's expected to sign the bill as soon as it reaches his desk.
Floodwaters that forced Yellowstone National Park to close are now causing heavy damage in nearby Montana. The state's biggest city is at risk of running out of drinking water after the flooding affected the water treatment plant in Billings. A statewide emergency has been declared. These are the floodwaters that tore through Red Lodge, Montana, which some say came without warning. Roads turned into rivers in a matter of minutes.
And I think we're seeing that not only in Montana, but around the country and around the world.
She was talking about how climate change is affecting the flooding. The Montana National Guard has flown some 90 people to safety. Red Lodge Fire Chief Tom Kuntz says 250 homes have been damaged by the floods. Yellowstone may remain closed for the remainder of the summer.
13 through 16-year-olds in the Middleton Cross Plains School District got to try their hands at Brick Lane today, a Brick Lane experience. The Brick Lane experience is a visual Brick Lane demonstration put on in partnership with Findorf, with Middleton High School's construction camp program over the course of the project. Findorf masons have laid roughly 132,500 individual bricks at Middleton High School.
It's really important for our students to realize the vast array of opportunities that they have right here in our community. And from that standpoint, it provides them with access to options. And for the students that select those options, they're going to continue getting education and training beyond high school.
The program is invaluable to the students because they learned hands-on about the construction industry's partnership with Findorf. Students learned about the many different types of careers in construction, how to get jobs in the industry, and about how to get educated without the weight of student loans. Well, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates yesterday by 3/4 of a point, the biggest increase since 1994.
Well, what does that mean for you and your family? Financial expert Moses Altsek from the UW School of Business has the answers when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sheesh Raval with the Ortho Team Clinic at Stoughton Health. We hope you can join us for our upcoming event on treatment of knee arthritis and custom knee replacements.
Since I left for college, my dad has gotten back into some of his old hobbies. And now he's taking Trulicity. And it looks like he's gotten into some new, healthier habits, too.
What changes are you making for your type 2 diabetes? Maybe it's time to try Trulicity. It's proven to help lower A1C. It could help you lose up to 10 pounds. And it's only taken once a week, so it can fit into your busy life. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. The choices you make can help control your A1C. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Keep life zesty with Zantac 360 degrees. Heartburn can't stop this party because Zantac 360's triple action prevents, relieves, and lasts, working in as little as 15 minutes. Keep life zesty with Zantac 360.
At Pick and Save, we believe it takes the right team to bring you fresh produce. That's why we partner with farmers who grow only the best, because working together is truly what it takes to be fresh for everyone. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Dude, great ride. Right? This Silverado keeps me connected and in control. And this touchscreen is my command center. My command center.
The 2022 Silverado LT. Find new control. Find new roads.
Well-qualified buyers can get 1.9% financing on all 2022 Silverado 1500 pickups. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
If you're ready to shop for some good deals, mark your calendar for July 12th and 13th.
It's Amazon Prime Days. The company announced the dates today, saying the big sale will kick off at 3 a.m. and run for 48 hours in multiple countries, including Poland and Sweden for the first time. During last year's Prime Day, online spending topped more than $11 billion, more than 6% over 2020.
A popular flea and tick collar may not be safe for your pet. Lawmakers are now renewing their call to take the Seresto flea and tick collar off the market. Following a 16-month investigation, a House subcommittee is asking the EPA to revamp its review process for products with pesticides and is asking Elanco, the company that makes the collar, to issue a voluntary recall. Pet owners say the collars have led to skin irritations, seizures, and sometimes even death.
This particular collar has caused 100,000 incidents reported to the EPA and over 2,500 pet deaths reported to the EPA.
Seresto collars contain 2 different pesticides designed to ward off fleas and ticks. Elanco says the collars are safe and there is no linkage from the active ingredients to a pet's death. For now, the Seresto collar is still available to purchase.
Well, stocks plunged to the lowest level since December of 2020. The Dow Industrials went down 741 points, closing below the 30,000 point at 29,927. The NASDAQ dropped 453 points, or over 4%. The S&P 500 lost 123 points. There you have that. Well, it's the largest interest rate hike since 1994.
The Federal Reserve announced yesterday it is raising interest rates by 3/4 of a point.
It's an effort to fight stubbornly high inflation, but what will it mean for you? Moses Alczak from the UW Madison School of Business is back with us. Welcome.
Hi, Moses. Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Just looking at those Wall Street numbers, it gives people shudders if they have a 401k.
That's why I don't look at it every day, that's for sure. It's bad for my mental health. But it's not unexpected, right? And this rate hike is definitely not unexpected. People saw it coming. Given the inflation numbers, there's really no choice that the Fed had.
It seems a little counterintuitive. So can you explain why making things more expensive actually helps fight inflation?
Well, the idea is that when prices go up, demand retracts a little bit, right? So people spend a little less and things stabilize because when demand drops, then prices go, they can't be as high as,
so people
as they
will
used
buy
to be.
less.
People will buy less. That's exactly right. So that's what the Fed is trying to do. Of course, what they're trying to do is balance increasing interest rates so people spend a little less, but trying to keep the economy from going into a recession.
That's the balancing act.
It's quite a balancing act, and the truth is that the markets are reacting the way they're reacting. On one hand, you saw yesterday the markets reacted positively because they thought, wow, the Fed is finally being aggressive when it comes to inflation. But there are also concerns about a recession, and it's not uncommon for really large interest rate hikes to lead to a recession. So
this is going to mean more expensive car loans, mortgages?
For some people. The car loans for sure, but the difference that it would make in your monthly payment would be very, very small. For people who already have a fixed rate mortgage, no effect at all because it's fixed. So you don't have anything to worry about. For someone who is planning to buy a house, on the other hand, that's a different story. Or for people with a variable rate mortgage, they're going to definitely feel the effect. And you see that the housing market is starting to cool off as a result.
Why do they want to cool off the housing market?
Well, you see what happens to real estate prices. I mean, there were bidding wars on homes, and things were a little out of hand. So The idea is when the cost of borrowing goes up, again, demand goes down a little bit and things cool off. And they're hoping that the same is going to apply to, to an awful lot of things when it comes to people having less money and spending less money and inflation dropping as a result of the decrease in demand.
And a lot of people have less money because of gas prices. Is this going to turn around?
It is going to turn around. The loan that I took, notwithstanding, to pay for my drive to the studio today.
I filled up today too.
It's going to turn around. It's interesting because gas prices are at a really high level, and yet demand for gas, say during Memorial Day weekend, did not drop at all. Everybody was filling up and driving places. So when the summer season is usually pretty high demand, but summer's going to pass and demand is going to start decreasing. If we have good news on the war front in Ukraine, or if we give some time to both the United States and our allies to increase production, that's also going to help drive the price of gas a little lower too. So I'm optimistic that in a few months things are going to.
A lot of people are blaming the oil companies for gouging.
Well, the president mentioned that the oil companies and the refineries really sort of need to, check their profits a little bit. Maybe they're making, a little too much. But I think that's also driven by the uncertainty, right? You don't know what's going to happen with the war. And that, the hurricane season that may disrupt refineries. So, a lot of that is psychological, just like the consumer price index and consumer confidence sort of affects, consumer spending and savings habits and so on. So I really think, though, that if the war certainly does not get out of hand and escalate further, the news for gas prices are going to be, better in a few months, certainly after the summer is gone.
But this is a marathon, not a sprint, right? This doesn't
absolutely right.
correct itself quickly.
If you're thinking that you're going to see gas prices drop overnight, it's definitely not going to happen. Not unless the gas tax is suspended or something like that. That may shave off 50 cents if it's both the federal and the state tax. But unless that happens, we're going to have to deal with that for a little while longer. We're still better off than a lot of countries, by the way, that have seen really huge spikes in gas prices. There are European countries that are not in the war zone that have gas prices in $7, $8, $10 a gallon. So in comparison, we're better off. Not that this is a small problem. So bide your time. Things are going to improve. I'm optimistic, at least.
That's good to hear.
Interesting months ahead. We'll have you back soon. We'll pay for gas.
Good to see you, Will.
That sounds like a deal. Take care.
Still to come at 4, the war rages on in Ukraine, despite the fact it's no longer headline news.
But over 100 Ukrainian soldiers are killed every day, and they are calling for help from the West. We'll have that story coming up on Live at 4.
At Johnsonville, we ask crazy questions every day. Like, what if we made strips of sausage that look like bacon? Would they taste better than bacon? Turns out 1 in 4 Americans like Johnsonville sausage strips better than bacon. Then we asked, can someone who likes sausage strips better than bacon still be considered American? Then we remembered, you can't spell sausage without USA. Johnsonville sausage strips, better than bacon, and possibly more American.
Oh, love that Chevy Blazer. That's our next SUV. Love that Equinox. That's our next SUV.
Nice Trailblazer.
It was love at first sight. What?
The Chevy family of SUVs. Find new options. Find new roads.
Qualified lessees can sign and drive this Equinox for around $340 a month. Tax, title, license, and dealer fees are extra. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
McGann Furniture in downtown Baraboo should probably be called McGann Furniture and Flooring because we're the area's oldest and most experienced floor covering store. Our friendly staff will explain the many types of flooring available, answer questions, and make suggestions so you can choose what's best for your home and lifestyle. We always offer free in-home measurements and estimates and use the finest installers in the entire area. And remember, at McGann's, we don't inflate prices only to mark them down for a sale. Stop in today and discover the difference. You'll be glad you did. McGann Furniture, downtown Baraboo.
When we needed new doors and windows for our home, we were looking for someone we could trust.
We've done the bargain brand windows. We've done the runaround.
What we loved about Nextdoor and Window is that they were different. The experts guided us through every step of their no-pressure process.
We really loved their educational approach. Nextdoor and Window helped us understand what was right for us.
They have a totally different approach to doors and windows. They made the window and door replacement process simple.
Call 844-600-NEXT to get 50% off your installation.
Don't wait until the weekend to enjoy a thick charbroiled steak made to your liking. Make a weeknight steak night at High Point Steakhouse, Southern Wisconsin's premier supper club. Well worth the short drive to Ridgeway.
My sister's managing a lot, including her type 2 diabetes, but she's found new ways to stay on top of it all.
Once weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C, and it can help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
Well, take a look at this. Here's one way to stay cool in this heat. A llama was seen cooling off in the hot weather at the Minnesota Zoo. On a warm summer day, they put out fans set up for the llamas and others to enjoy.
That's so cute.
So the next time you need to cool off, think like a llama.
Look at her. She
That llama and I have the same vibes.
Same. That's so
Great
sweet.
idea. I love llamas.
So today gave everybody a chance to clean up and get the down trees out of the yard. What a day yesterday.
It was busy. It was busy for us, yes. And thankfully this weekend also looks dry and clear. I know right now it's still a little windy outside, so some of those loose branches in my backyard, we got a few twigs still falling down. But tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday do look really, really good for us. So thankfully, the weather off is backing off just a little bit, but we're going to take a look at where that cold front is right now and what's going to carry us into next week right after the break.
When the family can't get enough of your signature dish, get everything you need with Pick and Save free pickup with no surprise fees. So start your cart today. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
Fry Construction is celebrating 27 years with a big anniversary sale. Join us to save 27%. That's right, 27%. Many of your neighbors already know how we strive to meet and exceed expectations with each and every project. That's why they voted us Best Roofer 2 years in a row. Experience the best of Madison for yourself with Fry Construction. Act now for 27% off gutters with any full roofing or siding project. Schedule your free consultation today at fryconstruction.com.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Donate today.
Sarah Godlewski leading the fight.
Between Roe v. Wade, paid family leave, affordable child care, and affordable senior care, if you had more women at that U.S. Senate table, they'd be prioritizing things like that.
Sarah Godlewski, straight talk about Ron Johnson.
We do not want politicians like Ron Johnson making healthcare decisions for women and affecting our freedom.
Sarah Godlewski, the best chance to rid the Senate of Ron Johnson.
I'm Sarah Godlewski. I approve this message.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find bicycle store quality electric e-bikes from Trek, Electra, Felt, Giant, and more. Trek offers the best-selling e-bike in America, Trek Verve Plus, under $2,500. At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find fat e-bikes, mountain e-bikes, road e-bikes, bike path e-bikes, and more. Free services included. The place to shop for your new e-bike is Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world.
With the Pick and Save app, you can get personalized coupons on top of weekly sales, all for prices that are lower than low. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Again, it is windy outside. It is a little warm and still just a little muggy, but not nearly like what we went through yesterday. That cold front is now driving towards the New England area and bringing then that same line of strong thunderstorms. In fact, they have severe thunderstorm watches and tornado watches extending from New York through Ohio and down now towards Virginia with those severe thunderstorm watches. You can see the warnings similar to what we had yesterday lining up right along that cold front. So that's impacting New England right now. For us, things are quiet, and it does look like we're going to be able to enjoy the sunshine and the drier weather for the next several days, where we're going to hold on to this trend. We're currently at 87 in Madison, so it still is a bit warm in the 90s to the south and in the mid 80s in central Wisconsin right now. We're expecting things to stay pretty comfortable outside over the next several days. Again, much quieter with the sunshine, dry weather through Father's Day weekend. Next week, we'll see temperatures climb back into the 90s, but not nearly quite as warm as what we saw a few days ago. Overnight, temperatures will fall down into the 60s to start off our Friday. Notice barely even a cloud in the sky for early Friday morning. Friday afternoon, high temperatures expected to land close to 80, so a seasonable afternoon right where we should be for the middle of June. For our Saturday, temps in the 50s early in the morning, and then in the afternoon, yet again, climbing up to the mid to upper 70s. So very seasonable again, a smidge cooler than Friday, but really comfortable for Saturday. In general, the warm trend continues as we look ahead to the next few weeks. It doesn't look like we're going to pull back too much. Saturday, our coolest day by far in the 10-day forecast. For tomorrow, highs close to 80, mostly sunny and not quite as warm as today. We'll back off just a bit. Wind speeds also backing off at about 6 to 12 miles per hour coming in from the northwest. So that, again, northwest flow cooling things down just a little bit. It's nice to look at the 10-day and not have any alert days in the forecast. Mostly sunny sky for Friday, Saturday, and for Father's Day on Sunday. So we're falling into a really nice pattern for the next few days. A seasonable afternoon on Friday, just a few degrees below average on Saturday, and then we warm right back up. So that above average trend kicks in and holds on. As we look ahead to Monday and Tuesday, that will be our warm stretch for next week in the mid to low 90s with heat index readings in the middle to upper 90s. On Tuesday, there's a chance for some showers passing through late at night, and behind that shower chance, we pull back just a little bit. High temperatures dropping to the mid 80s, similar to where we're at today. And we'll have partly sunny skies extending all the way into the following weekend. So we're really holding on to a mostly dry stretch, but still a warm stretch heading into that following weekend. We could have some slight chances for showers as a little more humidity builds in that Saturday and Sunday, but right now it looks like a little more sunshine than rain chances for us guys through that 10-day.
Smiley Mark got his car washed today.
Hey, now you know it'll rain. There we go. That's the good news.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thank you, Dana. Well, in this crazy world, sometimes it's nice to just step back and take in nature.
We did just that back in 1988 with Middleton photographer Jim Young. Here's this week's Traveler Throwback Thursday.
It is a cold and wet late autumn day in central Wisconsin. The rains begin to fall. The wind cuts right through you, but all of this doesn't stop Jim Young. He is on a hunt. His target, the gathering flocks of migratory birds. He loads his weapon and prepares to shoot. Jim Young's weapon is his camera. For the past 7 years, Jim has worked full-time as a freelance wildlife photographer.
Dealing with the elements, with the rain, the wind, the heat, the cold, you name it. Nothing's out there working in your favor. Nature photographers are in the business of creating images of perception rather than reality. We have to find sunrises and sunset locations that don't have power lines, don't have jets flying across the sky.
Jim isn't just snapping pictures, he is freezing images of nature onto film. A world he takes from the outdoors back into his Middleton darkroom and then brings it back to life again. It is his intense love of nature that drives him. His is a world most of us will rarely see. A world most of us don't take the time to see.
I decide in my own mind, how much time is this picture worth? If it's something that is very compelling, and I think it's very important. I'll wait absolutely as long as it takes from hours. I've waited 7.5 days to photograph a specific bird, and I didn't get the picture.
His home is filled with pictures he did get, and what photographs they are.
I've had more cold, wet feet and bitter cold hands and soaking wet all day long, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. No, I'd rather work outdoors anytime than work inside in an office. Absolutely.
And because of that, all of our worlds are just a little more beautiful. Traveling in Middleton, I'm Mark Kane, WISC News 3.
Oh, I feel better.
It's a beautiful. Wasn't that relaxing?
It is very relaxing. Exactly. Exhale a little bit.
The beautiful pictures,
very
too.
Nice.
Thanks, Jim, for your time way back then. Coming up next year on Live at 4, the war in Ukraine continues with the help of weapons from the U.S.
And then coming up next hour at 5, our Naomi Coles tells us where the money comes from at the state and local level to cover all of this storm damage. That's coming up at 5.
The biggest mattress savings are happening now at Ashley's $20 million truckload sale. Save up to $1,000 on luxury brands and bonus discounts only available in store. Plus 60-month special financing and fast 5-day delivery on in-stock mattresses. Don't miss it at Ashley.
If you have type 2 diabetes or high blood pressure, you're a target for chronic kidney disease. You can already have it and not know it. If you have chronic kidney disease, your kidney health could depend on what you do today. Farxiga is a pill that works in the kidneys to help slow the progression of chronic kidney disease. Farxiga can cause serious side effects, including dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections in women and men, and low blood sugar. Ketoacidosis is a serious side effect that may lead to death. A rare, life-threatening bacterial infection in the skin of the perineum could occur. Stop taking Farxiga and call your doctor right away if you have symptoms of this bacterial infection, an allergic reaction, or ketoacidosis. And don't take it if you are on dialysis. Take aim at chronic kidney disease by talking to your doctor and asking about Farxiga. If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
It started somewhere between a cuddle and a struggle. It's the side hug. Tween milestones like this may start at age 9.
HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then, too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for others, it can cause certain cancers later in life. Welcome!
Hi.
Now, as the dad cab, it's my cue to help protect them.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next. Ask their doctor about HPV vaccination today.
At USAA, we've been called too exclusive because we were created for officers. But as we've evolved with the military, we've grown to serve all who've honorably served, no matter their rank or when they were in. A Marine just out of boot camp, or a petty officer from 73, and even his kids and their kids. USAA is made for all who honorably served and their eligible family members. Are we still exclusive? Absolutely. And that's exactly why you should join.
Massive savings are happening now at Ashley's $20 million truckload sale. Get doorbuster discounts up to 71% off, plus 60-month special financing with no money down on all in-stock merchandise. And bonus discounts only available in store. Don't miss it at Ashley.
Next at 5, when disaster strikes, Wisconsin reacts with trained teams at the ready to help residents. We visit the Wisconsin National Guard's REACT facility as the state recovers from the storms.
And some good news coming out of the weather office right now. Sunshine and quieter weather heading into Father's Day weekend. We'll take a look at our temperature trend.
Then at 6, waking up to destructive scenes, Mauston residents come together after the devastating storms. We'll tell you how the city plans to recover. Coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's a live look at downtown Madison. Much clearer, brighter than it was yesterday.
A little cooler, too,
a little
breezy.
Bit. It's still warm, but not bad.
Ukrainian soldiers say they need more Western equipment and ammunition to fight the war against Russia.
Especially since Ukrainian officials say more than 100 soldiers are killed in action every day.
Ben Wiedemann has more details.
American symbol, American weapon. Ukrainian troops try out new equipment, U.S.-supplied M4 rifles fresh out of the box. Away from the front lines, these soldiers are preparing to join the battle raging in the east. This exercise is designed to accustom Ukrainian forces to the use of Western weapons. This is an American 50 caliber machine gun firing Italian bullets. There's a problem, though. We're told there's not enough Western ammunition. And not enough weapons either. Even in this drill, much of the firepower dates back to the Soviet era. Ukrainian forces are slowly losing ground in the battle for the eastern Donbass region. Morale here is high.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Yet no one believes these rifles will halt the Russian advance.
This is not enough.
Ukrainian officials say Russian artillery outnumbers their artillery at a ratio of perhaps more than 10 to 1. Used to deadly effect in the city of Severodonetsk, now almost completely under Russian control. Big guns, not small arms, could help Ukraine turn the tide.
I can protect myself as a soldier with this weapon. I can protect my comrades. But unfortunately, I can't clear my country from invaders using only these rifles. So we need more artillery. We need heavy rocket system and other serious weapons because it's the modern war.
From USA.
The U.S. and its allies have delivered advanced weapon systems to Ukraine, and more are on the way. But the army here is losing men at an alarming rate, more than 100 killed in action every day, according to Ukrainian officials. We need a basic minimum to avoid more casualties. Artillery, smart weapons, radar, drones, and people to train us, says the commander, Lieutenant Alexander, a veteran of the French Foreign Legion. We've shown we will fight. We will learn to use these weapons. And that will take time. And time is a luxury this nation at war cannot afford.
Yeah, they need help, that's for sure. Well, it's time to get your medical questions answered. Dr. Zorba Pastor's here with us.
Yes, he is. He's here on the couch with us. There he is. The number to call, 608-270-9933. Dr. Pastor will take your calls when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
Another Madison Money Minute with Matt Coupland of Midwest Financial Group and a new location today. Where are we at?
The rooftop at the Princeton Club West in Madison.
It doesn't get much better than this. This is gorgeous up here, and you're going to relate how the financial world comes together with the fitness world for us.
Yeah, I've been a member here now for 15 years. It's an amazing place. They've got really good equipment, personal trainers, things like that. I think in our world of finance, we're sort of like a personal trainer for people's finances.
Absolutely. Now, there are a lot of people who are a little bit leery right now with everything going on with the economy and the stock market, and they're nervous. How important is it for them to find an expert in the financial world to help maybe alleviate some of that stress, or find an outlet at a health and fitness center where they can do something good for themselves?
The world is negative, things are difficult, and you've got to find outlets, right? And so when things get tough, you got to focus on your health, you got to find healthy outlets, you have to surround yourself with positive people, and I think all of that will help pull you through those tough times.
Absolutely, and you're a disciplined guy, yet you know and you can tell the value in just having somebody hold you accountable, to know somebody's counting on you to be here, that's going to make you work harder or work differently than you would if you were doing it on your own.
It's about sticking to the plan. When my alarm goes off at 4 in the morning and I know I'm supposed to go to the gym, I could hit snooze, but when I know there's someone there holding me to it, I'm better off for it. So it's easier to follow through and stick to things that way.
Absolutely. If you want to have Matt and his team of wonderful financial professionals help you out, Midwest Financial Group, he's the guy to talk to. I'm Emmy Fink, he's Matt Coupland, and
you're buzzed into Madison.
How do you use your energy? Giving back to your community? Fueling your drive to deliver hope for neighbors in need? At Alliant Energy, we're creating more clean, renewable energy every single day to power what matters to you. Because even during the most powerful moments in our lives, we're not thinking about power. We're thinking about a brighter future. Alliant Energy, powering beyond.
Joe Biden opened America's borders, increasing the flow of deadly drugs into our communities. Last year, over 105,000 people died of drug overdoses in America. Biden's putting our children and families at risk. Ron Johnson is warning everyone that drug traffickers are adding fentanyl to counterfeit pills, and it only takes one pill to kill. Please tell your children and support law enforcement.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Well, no accidents popping up right now for us throughout southern Wisconsin. The eastbound side of the Beltline, though, going a little slower. That starts at Gammon and stretches all the way through John Nolan before things get a little better closer to the interstate. Slowing down westbound, also near Fish Hatchery Roads, the usual spots. But again, no accidents north and southbound on the interstate, all green from Rock County through Dane County. The Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie, a 19-minute drive for us by now. That's a quick look at traffic.
Dana, thank you. Not even UPS knows precisely how to describe what could be the delivery giant's latest way to get packages to your door. The company unveiled a battery-powered four-wheeled cycle to more efficiently haul cargo in some of the country's most congested streets and reduce its carbon footprint. The slimmed-down vehicles, called E-Quads by UPS, look familiar enough with the company's gold-colored logo and dark brown vehicles. This trial run is focused on New York City and several cities in Europe, but you're not going to deliver a lot in that, are you? Not very big.
I don't know. It's got a, I don't know. That's a good question, but it looks pretty cool, doesn't it, to navigate through busy traffic?
We are taking your calls today for Dr. Zorba Pastor.
The number to call, 608-270-9933, and we have 3 lines open today if you have a question.
Let's start with, welcome to you.
Yes,
Thank
hi,
you.
Zorba.
Thanks
Good
for
to
being with
see
us
you.
today.
Good to be here.
Let's start with Diane. Hi, Diane. What's your question?
Good afternoon. Thank you for taking my call. I'm wondering if Dr. Pastor has any opinions on the value of medical alert bracelets. Do they help EMTs, for example? And if so, what information should be included or excluded on them? Thank you very much.
Good question.
Well, the answer is they really do help EMTs. They really are important, especially if you have diabetes and you're on insulin. Because if you have diabetes, you're on insulin, you may appear to be drunk when you're not actually drunk, but you're actually in a diabetic coma. Either your blood sugar is way too high or way too low. So having a medical alert bracelet really can make a big difference. And then there are also bracelets called DNR, Do Not Resuscitate bracelets. Those are important for people in nursing homes, assisted living. So if you have a terminal disease and all of a sudden you collapse, nobody has to call 911. That's really important.
What's the important information you want on that bracelet?
You want to have, if you have diabetes, you want to have that. If you're on a medication that could possibly be an issue with an EMT, talk to your doctor about it. But definitely diabetes are one of the things that are on it. That's very, very important.
But you don't need to have your address, your phone number,
Not at all.
all that
Not
stuff.
at all.
Okay. All right.
All right, let's go to Barb in Portage. Hi, Barb. What's your question?
Yeah, my question is that I'm on a lot of different a lot of different medicine, and I'm having trouble trying to keep them straight.
Sure. Sure. That can be a very big issue with people if you're on lots of medicines. So one of the things you want to do is get somebody, and that can include the pharmacy, to put it in a pill box. You know, these are nifty boxes that can be once a day, twice a day, 3 or 4 times a day. Either get a loved one to put it in the box, or pharmacies will do that so that you can actually take the medicines at the right time. And this is not a small issue. This is a big issue. Years ago, I had somebody, I couldn't cure her urinary tract infection. It said take 1 tablet twice a day for the antibiotic. So she took 1 at 9 o'clock in the morning and took the next one at 10 o'clock in the morning. She didn't want to forget taking the second pill. And we were not clear in our instructions, so that was very important. Get somebody to help you. That's the way to keep your
And there's
pills
boxes that say morning, lunch,
evening, dinner,
and night.
Very, very important. Yeah.
And there are some that'll even dispense the medicine for you.
Absolutely.
There's a hero thing.
Yeah, right. That's exactly. But so your pharmacy will know. People will know, friends will know, senior citizens will know how to actually do that. Senior Citizen Centers, very, very important.
All right. Let's go to Glenn in Evansville. Hi, Glenn. What's your question?
Hi. I recently turned 64 years old, so I'm getting bombarded with information from Medicare. What's your opinion?
On what? On Medicare and Bombardi. Well, that's very good because there are different kinds. There's Medicare Advantage, then there's regular Medicare, and the answer, there are also agents that will help you with it. Talk to your physician. There's no simple answer to this. It's more complex than you think. When I had to join Medicare, I thought, my goodness, I know a lot of things. How can I not understand this? And the answer is, I'm just like everybody else. So I called for advice, and I talked to other people who are on Medicare to get their advice.
Who'd you call?
Who'd I call? I called a friend of mine who had recently joined on Medicare. She gave me some advice who to call, and it ended up I used a Medicare agent, and that turned out to be very useful for me.
And you have to sign up. You don't have to.
You got to sign up.
You don't necessarily have to take the benefit.
But you've got to sign up, and if you don't take Medicare Part A, well, A, you have to sign up. If you don't take B and D at the right time, you will get a penalty that lasts for the rest of your life. Not just a one-and-done penalty, but forever. So
oh, that's complicated, yeah.
Very complicated.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Ellie in Madison. Hi, Ellie. What's your question?
Yes, I've been tired a lot lately, and I've had a lot of falls, dizzy spells, and what can I do?
Sure. Well, first of all, if you've had a lot of falls, it's important to get help because in Wisconsin, falls cause a lot of deaths from fractured pelvis and other things. So what I would recommend, talking to your physician. That's one thing to do. If you don't have a physician that you really can talk to, Senior Citizen Center can make a big difference because there are social workers there that can help you too. But if you're falling, it's really important to get help.
We have less than a minute left. Quickly, a lot of barbecues this weekend, Father's Day.
A lot of barbecues. Make sure that after you cut meat, after you cut chicken, that you wash that board for the veggies because you don't want to get E. coli and salmonella. It will ruin your barbecue.
And how long can potato salad be out?
It can be forever. Well, it doesn't taste very good, but you don't have to worry about salmonella with regular mayonnaise that you buy. That's an old-fashioned. The regular mayonnaise you buy, like Hellman's, absolutely fine. You can use that all the time.
But you have to clean up, and if after any raw
raw animal meat, fish, chicken, clean it up. Right.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Thanks for your calls, everybody. We'll be right back.
Discover what's in store at Habitat Restore Dane County. You'll find something new every time you visit to keep your project on budget with low price and high quality home supplies. For one-of-a-kind items, shop Habitat Restore Dane County today.
Take one, marker.
Toilet paper, we all use it. And like cheese or motorcycles, Wisconsin's long been a leader in production. But we lost our share of the market and jobs as companies sought cheaper and cheaper labor. Our supply chain crisis shows just how vulnerable we are when we allow Wisconsin products to be made overseas. I'm running for Senate to fight this race to the bottom, to make sure Wisconsin jobs and products are made right here. Because Chinese toilet paper, my ass. I'm Tom Nelson, and I approve this message.
What can I do with less asthma? With Dupixent, I can do more. Catching my train. Making moves. Making a connection. Oh, a train connection. That's how you do more with Dupixent, which helps prevent asthma attacks. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma that can improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks, and can reduce or even eliminate oral steroids. And here's something important. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Are you ready to do more with less asthma? Just ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Trained for emergencies, the Wisconsin National Guard takes action after the turbulent storms. Will Keneally joins the Guard at React Training Center to learn more about the disaster response teams. That's what's new tonight at 5.
A local nonprofit celebrates 10 years.
We are small but mighty.
Eric Franke explains the critical help Geo's Garden gives to families of kids with special needs.
It's amazing to see the impact that Geo's has had.
And what could come next. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Well, it is a bit breezy outside right now, but thankfully it's sunny and in general much quieter than when we were at 24 hours ago. Dry weather expected through Father's Day this weekend, and next week we'll see some warmer weather, especially for the start of the work week. 80 the high for your Friday, mostly sunny outside. Again, not as warm with a breeze coming in from the northwest, about 6 to 12 miles per hour. So enjoy Friday afternoon. Should be a pretty pleasant transition into the weekend for us, guys.
Looking good. Looking forward to it. We deserve it. All right, Dana, thank you. Tomorrow here on Live at 4, Louie and Oliver, our news hounds, have the top animal stories of the week.
And we go backstage with Michael Bruno at Beaver Dam Area Community Theater's production of Big Fish. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.
Experience handcrafted and hand-finished furniture by genuine Amish craftsmen at Wanakee Furniture ETC, featuring hardwood made in the USA home furnishings by Simply Amish and other great brands you can trust.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Get inspired. Tour 30 custom homes and see the newest trends. The Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, is open daily, June 17th through 26th. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for tickets and more information.
Sir Jenian's landfill-free guarantee has kept more than 20 million pounds of commercial and residential carpet and pad from area landfills. Visit Madison's largest showroom of flooring options, including eco-friendly products. Local, sustainable, Sir Jenian's.
Sarah Godlewski leading the fight.
Between Roe v. Wade, paid family leave, affordable child care, and affordable senior care, if you had more women at that U.S. Senate table, they'd be prioritizing things like that.
Sarah Godlewski, straight talk about Ron Johnson.
We do not want politicians like Ron Johnson making health care decisions for women and affecting our freedom.
Sarah Godlewski, the best chance to rid the Senate of Ron Johnson.
I'm Sarah Godlewski. I approve this message.
No matter who you are, being yourself can be tough when you have severe asthma. Triggers can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Tespire can help. Tespire is a new add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms. So you can be you, whoever you are. Tespire is not a rescue medication. Don't take Tespire if you're allergic to it. Allergic reactions like rash or an eye allergy can happen. Don't stop your asthma treatments unless your doctor tells you to. Tell your doctor if you have a parasitic infection or your asthma worsens. Sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma, Tespire can help you be you, no matter who you are. Ask your asthma specialist about Tespire today.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
In today's Final Touch, one of the iconic tourist attractions in Hong Kong is no more.
The famous Jumbo Floating Restaurant is gone. The massive floating restaurant, designed like a Chinese imperial palace on Aberdeen Harbor, was known for its Cantonese cuisine and seafood dishes. Queen Elizabeth, Tom Cruise, and 30 million other guests have had a meal in the restaurant since it opened in 1976. Jumbo Floating Restaurant was forced to close in 2020 due to the pandemic, and all the staff were laid off. The parent company couldn't find a new owner and lacked funds to maintain the boat. The restaurant was famed for its lavish banquet meals, dishes as roasting suckling pig, lobster, and double-boiled bird's nest, a Chinese delicacy. Tugboats towed the restaurant away, but it wasn't clear where its next berth will be. Have you been there?
I have been there, and I should have called my parents and had them send me a picture so that I could show you. Yeah, end of an era.
Yeah.
Really is.
All right, that's our time for now. Thanks for watching. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.